balanced map. Yeah, Liquid starting the defense. I'd say this is a pretty balanced map in terms of sides, but always in Siege, you say the defense is a little bit decided. If Evil Geniuses don't have the momentum coming into this map, that could sort of inflate that problem, right, where they just don't have things going for them. The first ban from Liquid's going to be a Nomad, which is interesting because they were really big on that operator in the last map, and Capitao taken off the board for Evil Geniuses.
Unsurprising bans. I mean, Liquid banning out Nomad is fascinating. I mean, they're probably going to run Moringa on Gridlock every single round, as we saw in Cafe.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty par for the course here. And I mean, when we were looking at, was it FaZe TSM yesterday? I cast it with Redeemer. We also saw a Nomad ban come out, and Gridlock was played by Cameraman every single round, basically, because you need to. You need some form of anti-flank operator. Claymores are fine, but Claymores can be countered much more effectively than an entire web of track stingers. It can be countered much more effectively than a possible air jab.
Second time that we've seen Maestro being banned out by Liquid, and this could be a wrench into the plans of Evil Geniuses. I think especially in North America, but worldwide, we see a lot of Echo Mira bans. Now, in this best of 3, we've seen 2 Maestro Mira bans, and so if Liquid came into this thinking, all right, we're going to play a ton of Echo, and we're just going to be super comfortable with that, and Evil Geniuses were not expecting to play Echo, and maybe they don't have somebody who's super duper comfortable recently playing Echo, that could be a bit worrying for Evil Geniuses, because this is something you're going to have to adapt to on the fly. They're experienced players, so I think they can do it, but it's something to look out for.
Yeah, number one, Liquid really likes playing Echo. That's a big part, a big part of why we don't see a Maestro or an Echo ban coming out from them, because, yeah, I mean, Liquid plays Maestro just the same, but they really like Echo, and right now a lot of their strategies have been favoring an Echo, especially on most maps that we've been seeing Liquid play over this event. In the hands of Sexy Cake, who's doing excellent calls alongside PSK for this team. And I mean, you look at the way that first map was called, and I mean, you don't doubt that decision. I mean, you didn't really see a lot of defense, so we didn't get to see the actual prowess that Liquid has when calling on defense. But their calls on attack, which is, I would say, oftentimes much harder, were exceptional. So now you have Sexy Cake as your quarterback, your general here on Echo. He's going to be a huge boon on this operator to the team, and they obviously don't need Maestro in any capacity. And on top of that, I mean, EG's Echo play, I would say, is weaker than their Maestro play. So, you keep an operator in play that EG is not particularly strong at in comparison to the alternative, which is an operator who can absolutely dominate defensive rounds, especially on Consulate. When you look at both the top 4 and the bottom 4 here of this map, Maestro has so many game-winning clips on so many different teams and so many different operators, with the Alda just gunning people down or an Evil Eye saving the day.
I think that Sexy Cake having the flexibility, I mean, he's so good at Echo for sure, but he plays a lot of Maestro too, a lot of smoke when he needs to. He can do so many different options, and that leaves the Liquid with the ability to play whatever they want and allow them to sort of target ban against Evil Geniuses a little bit more, right? If you think, okay, well, they're not good on Echo, we can ban out the Maestro. If you think, well, okay, the team we're playing against isn't that good at Maestro, we can ban out the Echo. And so you can sort of choose whichever one you want and whichever one the opponent doesn't want, because Sexy Cake can play whatever you need him to play, and it's not going to be too big of an issue. I think Liquid, that's going to be a huge advantage for them, not only in this game, but every game that they play, as long as Sexy Cake is on this roster.
Echo, as long as he can be kept alive somewhere downstairs, well, you've got a major advantage from information, and of course, you've also got another ACOG on the board, right? Team Liquid looked like they were going to be running a dock. They subbed off. They've got 2 ACOGs, presuming that PSK is playing the shotgun, but he's played the AUG a couple times, so that is an interesting choice. Committed so hard to this top floor defense right now, as Liquid have given EG admin, which is unsurprising. Admin is usually free entry for most teams. But, yeah, you've got a lot of people from Liquid playing upstairs. Sexy Cake in particular sitting behind that big chair inside of the console office. Nest goes down after the very first kill comes out from Palu, as once again, this is going to be a hill that Liquid is going to die on. They're going to commit fully to this 3rd floor, and with a minute to go, they've got marks, they've got information, and they have done very, very little EG has to be able to push Team Liquid out other than take care of Nesk.
Well, way down early sucks, and Paulo maybe trying to get another one. Evil Genius is, of course, not going to be super happy with that. Takes a lot of damage, and actually will get down and finished off by Geo, so his second on the round, being a little bit disoriented, and I think we have some weird positioning coming up from Team Liquid. Moringa, you saw him briefly down in the basement. He's going to be in an interesting position where he can go in for a really late flank on a smoke, something you almost never see. Sexy Cake dropping down as well, so they're almost giving up this top floor, which is a bit of an issue, right? Because, I mean, Evil Genius want to be up there, but yeah, here we go. Sexy K coming for a flank on an Echo. Excuse me? Geo not expecting him to be down there. Evil Genius is still going to make their way all the way down to the basement, so this is very, very nice. Team Liquid having all their anchors still alive. Sexy Cake just hiding inside of the bathroom. NVK, does he know? He was looking there for a while. No, it doesn't seem like he does. Sexy Cake's on for just a moment. He's just running on in. Sexy Cake doesn't even need to A down sights. There's 7 seconds. The plant is not going down just yet. Moringa's still nice and easy sitting on this site. He's got a friend with him as well. Evil Genius has got to get down. They've got no time at all. Liquid are in, and they're going to be able to stop this from going down. It's round 1 for them.
They actually won that round on kills, not even on time. It came out in the very final second here. And, I mean, you got 30 seconds left, and you got 2 members of EG. Of the remaining 3 members of EG, you got 2 of them trying to hunt down an Echo on that first floor. Meanwhile, the site is in the basement, and it was looking very grim for EG when you looked at the time and you said, there's 16 seconds left, and they're still trying to pursue this Echo. NVK doesn't do anything. You know, when he heads into the bathroom to try and deal with Sexy Cake, he was so low on HP as he'd been picked up. It doesn't really matter what, you know, part of the body Sexy Cake shoots him at. EG struggled really hard to be able to take care of that 3rd floor. And once again, this is the same thing that we saw when Liquid was on attack, or rather, when Liquid was on defense. EG struggled to really get in the building. They said it yesterday in the interview themselves. Our attacks are not good. That's a problem. Going on to Consulate, it is a map that does tend to skew defender-sided, you're right, but it is one of the more balanced maps as of what I saw last time. I think it's... I mean, all the maps right now are decently close to parity. The last stats I saw for Consulate showed they were pretty much on the same page as a lot of other maps. But, I mean, Liquid just played a super aggressive roam. You know, they kept somebody in connector. They kept somebody over towards Yellow Stairs. They kept Sexy Cake inside of console office, behind a reinforcement, behind a desk, and the only real way to flush him out other than going below is to go onto the windows on console office. And you're not going to repel on console office windows when it's a garage defense, because that's just not what attacking teams really do. So you're going to take admin, and then from there, where do you go? Well, you want to clear out that 2nd floor, you want to move maybe down to the main floor, and then go from there. This is a...
I like this hole. I like this a lot, actually.
Oh my. We've seen that. I'm pretty sure we've seen that a couple times. At least I can remember once or twice. Oh my goodness.
NVK being the first death, Sexy Cake. It's the peak on Echo. This has been some very aggressive Echo play coming out from Sexy Cake. I like it. It's clearly working out very, very well from him in both rounds. I think he's had very huge impact kills. Not one taking down NVK. Again, you look back to that last map. He was very, very strong in terms of how he was doing in the fragging department on Cafe. One of the only guys on Evil Genius is really stepping up there. So for him to be dead so early, I mean, I think that's huge for Liquid.
I think that play in particular is very emblematic of the way that Liquid feels right now. They are extremely confident. They are not worried at all, and they are going to piss off EG and demoralize them as much as they can. And Echo spawn peeking on round 2 of Consulate EG's map is just some pretty spicy 100 emoji BM, if I can use the language of the young ones and the millennials who like to watch this show. I'm surprised that Sexy Cake would go for that, but Liquid are obviously banging on all cylinders here, and they're taking a lot of chances that they don't need to take. But right now, EG are not confident. They're losing their fights. Sexy Cake is living rent-free in EG's head right now through 2 rounds. He picks up yet another kill. He's got both of them so far for his team. And with just barely over a minute to go, EG don't really seem to know how they want to tackle this 2nd floor defense. In 10 rounds, a team that has gotten the opening pick has won every single time in this engagement. It's not looking good for Evil Geniuses, and now they've lost the first 2. Next trying to make that 3, but he's taken a little bit of damage and has none back to Geo. So he starts to try to equalize, but they still need to go 1 more kill before you can get back to that 3-3 man count. I think Team Liquid still in a very strong position. A lot of this 1st floor pressure, and again, it's not where the bomb site is. It's been all play on the 1st floor, but the bomb sites have never been here. Sexy Cake just feeling so aggressive, feeling like he can do whatever. Paula coming around for the flank. Doesn't really seem to be inside the lobby, though. They're still inside of that bathroom area, peeking back and forth inside of Antechamber. Really big Geo with the 2nd kill. Can't get the 3rd. Not expecting Paula to be downside in the central stairs, being able to pick up that frag. Now it's 30 seconds left on this clock, and Evil Geniuses, there's 2 support players left alive. Make it 1, make it none. Paula with big 2 kills to finish off this round, and Team Liquid, they go up 2-0. EG doesn't have a coach right now. They didn't take a tactical timeout in Cafe. I don't expect we're going to see the same thing here on Consulate. I mean, who knows? EG obviously losing Peter. They lost Canadian. They lost Gotcha. And this is a move that EG has made for the future. So for fans of EG who are watching this, that might be dismayed at what they see as an absolute dismantling of their team. At least thus far, there's still plenty of time and plenty of room on the runway for EG to turn this one around on console. Of course, with it being their actual map choice. Realize that very similar to DreamHack Montreal last year, when the team was in a transition period, they just picked up Geo. Necrox was coaching. They just let go of Bacon after the demolishing they had at the hands of G2 in Paris. This is a transitional period for EG, so for fans of EG, not all hope is lost. This is a setup that you've taken, or a step that has been taken for the future. For Liquid, a very experienced team, they won BR6, they were able to get past FaZe. They've looked good. This is par for the course for Liquid so far. They're taking gambles, the gambles are paying off, they're playing aggressively, they're playing unpredictably. LATAM on defense, on consulate. Not fun for teams that are not from Latin America because they roam so aggressively, they play so aggressively. It's very challenging to combat it.
Mo, of course, a very popular player being picked up by Evil Geniuses. I know he's got a lot of stream viewers who are very eager to see him perform in his first really big tournament. He's been in a minor before, but the first time that he's been on a big team in one of these tournaments. And so I'm glad they got to play on the stage and do well last time. Cut myself off for just a moment because Ness is going for a spawn peek. I don't think anybody's actually over there, though, so it probably won't result in any sort of a pick. But yeah, as Mo comes into this round number 3, I think that I'm glad that he got a good performance yesterday against Space Station Gaming and was able to sort of cheer up his fans a little bit because this has not been great for the team in general. And I think Mo's been having a tough time just because it's been so difficult for Evil Geniuses. But as I'm talking about, like, he's a very talented player, he's a very popular player. Excited to see how he goes with this team for the next few months. Palu going for more aggressive strategies, and wow, Liquid, pedal to the metal. I mean, they are right inside of EG's head, as you said. I think Palu even could just, like, let himself get detected out here just to sort of make Evil Geniuses scared. And, oh, if he gets to pick on a Mo, this would be so sad.
I wonder if he's waiting for a call, if they've put a yokai drone up on one of the window sills. A lot of people don't realize you can actually put a yokai drone on the window. And yeah, Palu might have information from that as Sexy Cake takes a beating, but Palu giving himself away inside of Visa means that somebody on EG is now going to be moved over to that area. Somebody on EG is going to be, or at least should be, on dedicated Visa runout duty, which is good for EG because they're not going to lose somebody to that, play from Palu, but it's also bad because that's one person who's going to be watching an area where, as you can see, Palu no longer is. Palu's inside of the main lobby now, by circle desk, just patiently waiting to see if anybody's going to swing on in through the main doors, and he's got one of the best guns on defense in his hand, waiting to see if EG's going to embrace him, but for the time being, no bait being taken from EG. They're still standing pat, and good coverage from Liquid right now to catch EG when they do push in. But if you're a fan of the North American team, they're going to have to go pretty quickly, and they're going to have to do so without any smokes as well. A lobby take without any smokes is a challenge, but they're going to come alive. The guns, 3 actually on the board, Geo and then NVK picking up 2, leaving just Nesk and Sexy Cake, who had taken a lot of damage earlier on, but you never count out Nesk, not at all, nor Sexy Cake. There's Liquid with 2 very fast kills, putting it back as close to even as you can get with 45 seconds to go.
Oh, this is big. Evil Geniuses with their player advantage, perhaps the best round they've seen all map long. Still got to get into the bomb site, though, and that diffuser being on the ground is not going to have to do them any favors. Sexy Cake very disoriented, and then finished off by Young. Big frag coming up from him. It's going to be all onto Nesk, oftentimes called one of the best players in the world, to try to clutch us back on a 1-on-3. 30 seconds, but this plant going down means it's probably going to be time advantage for Evil Geniuses. MBK will get it down now. Nesk makes his way down the circle stairs. Gets a little bit of damage pumped into him, about 25 HP lost. He can, of course, heal himself back up. Still 2 more stim pistols in his pocket. I don't think he's got the time to really use them, though, so he's probably just going to have to deal with what he's got. Player not watching the flank. Nobody's inside of lobby. Nesk takes advantage of that. Finds NVK looking the wrong direction. Now he can come in through Z. Try to find somebody else who might be inside of yellow stairs. There is somebody up top there, but Nesk has no idea. He's going in totally blind. Now he can go into piano as well. Doesn't know if there's anybody inside of here. There's not. Could go for the disable here, but grenades are being thrown at him. There's one inside a bathroom. He's going to have to deal with that. Time really ticking down. He takes this gunfight. He wins it. Great shot on Mo. Can he get the second one, though? It's a triple kill. He's just buying his time. Great play by Young. Got to reload. Nothing that you can do if you're Nesk. Beautifully played by Evil Geniuses, buying their time, knowing where they have their advantages.
Yeah, that top 4 clear from EG ended up being the big victor for that squad, or for their squad, because things were going sideways. They were kind of plodding along. They didn't really look like they were fully confident in where they wanted to engage from. And all it took was Geo and NVK up top to just completely clear out Liquid, with the exception of Nesk. Nobody really knew nor seemed to be aware of the fact that EG transitioned up to that second floor. And because of this, you end up with Liquid now having that blind spot. I've said many times that EG have had numerous blind spots time and time again. I mean, NVK had one in the very end of that round when he was sitting with his side, I suppose, turned to Nesk. But really, it was EG's roam clear that, for the very first time, actually looked good so far in this matchup.
Yeah, and they got the opening pick. Again, it led to a round win for Evil Geniuses this time. But you do get a little bit worried when you think about round rotation, right? I mean, that was Liquid on lobby. It looked very good on Cafeteria Garage, looked very good on console office. So, yeah, Team Liquid, I would still say, in the driver position for this match. But at least it's a round before round number 6 for Evil Geniuses. I mean, you look at that last round. 2-1 is a much better scoreline. You're only down by, let's say, 50%. The last one, before you got your round, it was a sixth of the rounds that had already been played. So yeah, Evil Geniuses, a little bit better, but I still don't think that they're going to be looking to, win this map, right? It's 2-1 right now. If we see the same round rotation, it'll be 4-2 at the end of the half. And Liquid only got to get a couple more attacking rounds, and they will be able to take the map. Still a long ways out, and of course, we probably won't follow that trend exactly, but it's possible. And with the same sort of a defense going up from Liquid, could again be something that EG struggle with.
So, they have a garage defense with, once again, it looks to B, not to P, B, looks to B. Unless you have to pee, then by all means, if people at home, go and take your bathroom break, for God's sakes.
What if I have to pee?
Well, you're casting here, Jesse, so I hope you brought a cup. But no, so EG are going to have to confront this garage door. They seem to be eschewing that third floor like we've seen, or that second floor rather, that Liquid is so heavily invested in. And this could be a major problem for Liquid, very similar to what we saw out of the matchup earlier on Cafe, is that you could just read that you could push the site pretty easily. But Necrox has been down, so Team Liquid firing back despite the fact that one garage panel has been opened up.
Still not finished off, and the fact that he's outside of the garage means he can probably be picked up there. You see it on your screen, very top there. He's got a sliver of HP left alive. So he's okay, not going to be the first death here, and that means that Evil Geniuses still have a very good shot in this round. Being able to bring that Thatcher is nice. Of course, not able to do that in the last map that Evil Geniuses were playing on. See if it helps them out. They are definitely going to know they're going towards Cafeteria Garage. They know they're focused towards the basement. And this time it seems like to be more of a focus on that garage, opening it up. Gio's already inside of sight, and he's taking a headshot off of PSK. The fact that he's in here is a little bit worrying. It looks like NVK is going to get another one, but Moringa sitting inside security will be able to hit another shot. It's NVK for 2 now. Paul coming downstairs, looking to shut down the flank coming in from behind, but it doesn't happen like that. Mo is able to get him, and Evil Genius is a very fast and very nice run from them.
And that is EG playing it really well, realizing that there were too many resources from Liquid that were committed upstairs, and EG didn't play their game at all. EG just went straight in for the throat, right into the site, and it paid off. It paid off in spades. Absolutely killer play. And they won their gunfights too. NVK has seemingly woken up. He's been great all through this entire event. He was good through that first map, despite the fact that the team didn't perform so well. And now he's doing well too. But the one person that I do want to give some credit to, even though that was a round for EG, the one person I do want to give major credit to is Moringa, who honestly, if Liquid wins this whole thing, Moringa has to be my MVP of the event. He has just been flawless in every single role he's played. He's been cool under pressure, he's been clutch, and while he had some consistency issues on phase.
Protect your bombs,
and whether you agree with him picking up Ion or not over Moringa, when you look at Moringa, he has just been so good. This particular matchup, he hasn't been that good. He's only got 1 kill on the board. He's been playing more utility operators. We're 4 rounds in. Sexy Cake has been excellent this round as well. But Moringa, throughout this entire event, has just been absolutely inhuman. If he continues to play that way, and if he catches fire, then I suspect that Liquid will be able to extend a lead that they had earlier, which has now obviously dwindled and evaporated to tie things up with EG here. So a garage defense falls short. What do? You go upstairs to console office. They can't ignore the second floor if you make it the bomb site. So it opens back up as Liquid had won it on round number 2. And now because of this, EG is going to have to tackle whatever obstacles Liquid throws their way. Presumably, EG are not going to be able to just finesse their way into the site as quickly, so we're going to see an admin take, would be my guess, and then move over from Copier. There's now finally a set of smokes from EG coming out. They desperately needed it, and it's coming out in the hands of the Jackal. They can possibly make something work towards long desk or even inside a projector, as long as they clear out those pesky ADSs from PSK.
Yeah, I think sometimes we've seen Evil Geniuses struggle with taking too long on these top floor attacks on both maps, right? You get on in, and then you sort of just stand around and you struggle with these positions that Team Liquid are holding, the angles that they have. You can't really find any picks. I think for Evil Geniuses, like getting into the building hasn't been a problem, but moving on from there, right? Take control of admin, great, then what? It's always been that next step that Evil Geniuses have struggled with here on this top floor. So I'm interested to see how they take this here in round number 5. They've got Mo inside of admin, just like I'm talking about. MVK's there too. They've got to find stuff from here.
It's a very similar lineup that EG's been running. Basically always like the same operators, and just a couple small changes, but Mo on the Ash is not too much of a surprise. This could get real tough here from Liquid if they don't support each other correctly. You've got a couple crossfires established with both PSK and Palu watching. And there goes NVK. So one crossfire established very well. PSK gets droned out by Mo, but now Mo's gonna have to make all the work happen on his lonesome. That's a big challenge, and there's still some charges left in that ADS as well. This is gonna be a quick peek, and the pre-fire from Mo does not connect, with Moringa there to collect one as well. And EG have lost 3 members with 1.5 minutes to go.
Again, you can't get it out of admin. You've gotten this for free. Liquid have totally given that up because they know when they're playing inside of the hallway, they've got the vending machines, they can win every single gunfight. Every angle that Evil Geniuses try to peek, they're failing at. It's now a 1-on-5, and Young will need the ace clutch if he's willing to try to win this round and finally give Evil Geniuses the lead. But no, it's flawless round for Team Liquid. Moringa, Flan, you were praising not too long ago, hits the final shot, and boy, oh boy, Team Liquid, very strong hold on console office. Thankfully, they don't have to attack that again for Evil Geniuses.
Last defense here now for Liquid. We anticipated a 4-2 scoreline on defense for Consulate. That's pretty standard fare with what we look at from the bans because of the way that the site rotation plays out. It's probably going to be, I would guess, another garage defense, and that's absolutely correct. You're not going to roll the dice on lobby. That was where EG got their very first victory on Consulate in round number 3. So you go downstairs to Garage. It's a site that we're accustomed to seeing teams play very frequently. And EG likely knows this. You look at their lineup, what they're bringing, I mean, it could work on lobby, but that's a pretty standard lineup for Garage. And the problem was last time when Liquid defended Garage, they put 3 people up on the 3rd floor. They kept 2 in the site. They rotated 1 back down, but it was too late. EG just bull rushed the site, and that was it. That was it. You know, you don't really talk too much about strategy when your strategy is literally open wall, kill, push in, plant. So in this case, I don't suspect that we're going to see Liquid do too much roaming. I think they will obviously roam, but I would imagine with the setup they have right now, it's going to be a 1st floor roam, not a 2nd floor roam. So you see somebody maybe play inside a bathroom, maybe have somebody else up there to support it, maybe not. Maybe they are going to go up top. Sexy Cake is going to break every single window, and then yeah, look at this.
Every window.
Every single window. Just to try and slow EG down, right? And that's a fairly good strategy. Consulate is one of the few maps where in order to get to the building, you have to watch a dozen windows or so. And because of that, any windows that are broken, and after Sexy Cake is already spawn peeked you, you have to be pretty wary of where the defense are playing.
I like this though. Sexy Cake, he opens all the windows, puts some fear into the hearts of Evil Geniuses, then just go by. I'm going to reinforce in the basement. Like, he's not doing anything aggressive right now, but he's shown his cards. He does like to do that type of stuff, and now look how careful Evil Geniuses are being. They're setting up their claymores. They're going on their drones. They're really wanting to make sure the top floor is totally clear, and I totally agree with you. Like, Team Liquid maybe have 1 roamer up top. They do have somebody up here on the 3rd floor, but I don't want to see any more than that. I think 4 guys in the basement is sort of what they need, and I believe that's what they've got right now. So Team Liquid definitely looking like they've done good at adapting. There we see all 4 players from Liquid, thank you very much, Marsu, inside of the basement. You've got 1 guy still roaming up top, of course. I believe that is Palu. Yes, it is. Hello. He's inside of the bathroom on the 2nd floor, and so he'll be content just to sit in here for a little while. And if he gets droned out, then okay, maybe you go for a pick, and that's exactly what happens. I was going to say if they totally ignored him, he could go for a late flank, but no. Evil Geniuses are aware of him, and I like this a lot. They're going to put a lot of pressure on trying to get him out of that bathroom.
And there it goes. The first flash is going to go off, and MVK can blow up the shelter that Palu has. He gets droned and expects something to happen on the wall. Oh, but Palu comes so tantalizingly close. Jaeger has no escape here. He is basically going to live until he dies, and that's it. But he's got some support. There's Nobody to the rescue? No. Nobody? Hello? No. You just got 4 down below. And it looked like there was somebody from Liquid who might rotate on up. But Palu takes a minute and 45 off of the clock, a chunk of NVK's HP, and that's really, I guess, all they needed nor wanted out of him.
Yeah, I think that's fine for Liquid, right? I mean, the fact that you're not committing too many people to the roam means that if your roam doesn't get anything, you've only lost one guy. You've only lost to Jaeger. Like, all right, fine. You would like to have a 5-on-5, but you still wasted enough time that I think Liquid are in a somewhat advantageous situation. Evil Geniuses is now on them to, okay, now we can focus on this bomb site. Now we can start opening up these hatches. You see, they aren't all reinforced, and so maybe Evil Geniuses, with their little bit of soft destruction that they do have, can take advantage of that. But they've got Young as well if he wants to try to open up some of these hatches. It doesn't seem like, unless he's out by the garage, which is very, oh, okay, I think he's going for the garage instead. Yes, he is. He's got Necrox with him. So they're going to open this up as quickly as possible. 25 seconds on that clock is really late for Garage to just now be opening up. They try to trick it, but it doesn't happen. It looks like it will be physically opened up. There goes a gas canister. They still got a couple more in the pocket of Moringa too, so be careful of that. We get into this round, no doubt there will always be some toxic tapes deployed, and they don't know where Nesk is. Oh no, they have no idea. Nesk gets a 2K. Easy to live. PSK takes one, but there's a 2K that he needed. Oh, I called it, and he got it eventually. Geo gets cleaned up by a shotgun, and it's all going to be on an MVK. Pistol in hand, he's got no hope at all. Big plays coming up for the members of Team Liquid. They will get round number 6, and for the first time ever in this best of 3, the team that got the opening pick did not win the round.
Man, oh man, Nesk, what an absolutely insane performance. And you could tell he's just waiting so patiently. Nobody is expecting him to be there, hugging that angle. And a big part of why he was able to stay there without being detected was because EG was so low on time, they had to get the middle panel and try to open up as much of the garage instead of picking one side or the other and just go for broke. What a play from Ness. But I mean, those are the kind of things that you're used to seeing from him. And Liquid playing aggressively this time around, they just held down the fort. EG couldn't do much. After Palu was dead, what did EG do? They had a minute to try to get in towards the actual garage, and I don't think they knew where the other members of Liquid were playing. So EG more of a victim of time and circumstance than anything else, but
totally. And I think talk about Paulu's roam. I mean, yeah, he just sort of stayed up there and died, but he wasted a lot of time. And it wasn't all Paulu wasting time, but that was a big chunk of it, right? He was able to go on down there and he was able to waste so much time for Evil Geniuses. They had to deal with them. They did it, but then there was no time on that clock. 25-second opening of Garage is really late for EG. So I'm quite happy with the fact that Liquid were able to pull that one out just because of how slow Evil Geniuses were going. I think Evil Geniuses, now they move on to the defense, that's not going to be a problem for them, right? If you're slow, that's okay. You're on defense. You don't have to be going fast. This top floor defense seems to be pretty standard from them. They aren't afraid to play the Echo. Young definitely has the experience on this operator, just perhaps recently in NA he hasn't gotten a lot of opportunities. And Geo dropping down to this first floor is extremely interesting because if he's playing inside of the bathroom, he's going down to the basement. He's on the mute, so he could be one of those players who gets aggressive and tries to go for the roam. But again, typically this would be MVK or Mo.
Oh man, so close to PSK and Geo coming into trading blows as PSK is just below the window, sitting right on top of the track Stingers. And yeah, no surprise there, Moringa on Gridlock with the F90 in hand was a very formidable killing machine in map 1, but also that EG were just struggling really hard to deal with the Nomad Gridlock combo, as we said a couple times. The fact that Liquid was running both of them just stifled EG. In this case, I mean, Liquid banned out Nomad, so they know how to play around it without. They're going to bring Gridlock every single time just so that EG doesn't go and do anything silly, like jump out of windows, etc.
A couple of these EMP grenades being utilized to take down some mute jammers and stuff like that. I mean, again, it's sort of like the same situation that Evil Geniuses were struggling with, right? You take control of admin and then you can't get anything after that. I wouldn't say the hold is quite as aggressive from Evil Geniuses. They don't have people playing by the vending machines or anything like that. And Liquid are perhaps a little bit more spread out. We see Moringa right now on those projector windows, although he's rotating perhaps over towards the skylight. See where he ends up headed. But either way, most of Liquid are focused inside of admin, and if Evil Geniuses put on the same type of pressure that Liquid had, they could definitely put some hurt on it.
No. Not the best time management for Liquid, at least for the time being, taking that one panel over the Visa stairs, open with an exothermic charge with just a minute to go. I mean, Consulate on defense, if you can play very practiced and very patient, then it works out very well. And speaking of, I don't know if Young got aggressive or not, but losing your Echo with a minute to go is not what you want to see. Young falling to Nesk and Liquid getting a huge opening pick there.
Yeah, that's huge for Liquid, as you were mentioning. Evil Genius is now down a man. But time is on their side. 45 seconds for Liquid to try to make a move, and they're still going to do a Geo on that first floor. Likely to come up for making a flank, and Evil Genius is equalizing with a great shot on Apollo. Getting this plant down could be huge, though. This gas canister is not going to be able to choke out the planter. Moringa takes a little bit of damage from it, but that doesn't matter. Beautiful shot he follows it up with on a Necrox, puts it into a 4-on-3, and with the plant down, this is huge for Liquid. Again, these track steers can be so huge. Sexy Cake finding the back of one player, NVK getting down to that leads it all to Mo and Geo. Geo, as I mentioned, can come up for this rotate with the plant down. He's got to move so quickly. Mo's going to be able to pick up one over by the front desk. Can he get any more than that, though? PSK falling is great, but he's still got two players trying to find. Sexy Cake gets one on a Mo. He cannot. And in the windows, Moringa peeking in and finding the Mexican. Team Liquid will take round number 7 and continue their lead.
I cannot talk about how well Moringa and Sexy Cake are playing together. It hasn't been the Palu show. It hasn't been the PSK show. It has not even been the Nesk show. It has been the Sexy Cake and Moringa show so far for Liquid over the last couple matchups, going all the way back to day number 1. Great coverage. You cut off the ability for the defense to go through connector because of that smoke. You can't rotate long desk because it's being held as well. Mo is on an island, and what happens? Well, you have Moringa sitting out, perched up on that balcony, and there's nothing they can do. They can't shake him loose. You don't have any C4s at hand because your last operators don't have C4s. It's such a rough spot to be in. The smoke's missing their targets as well. Some small mistakes from EG, but it was a ballsy play from Liquid, if I'm being completely honest with you, and it worked out. Now we're on a technical break, so this is actually a boon for EG because it can kind of blunt Liquid's momentum a little bit while giving Liquid the time to actually talk about what's going on. But, man, it's looking real bad for EG. I know that we've said this many times in the past, but that's rough. And the retake comes so close, but Sexy Cake and Moringa played that perfectly with Sexy Cake on the Visa stairs, heading on up to the small office just by open area or by admin. And then you also have Moringa, just like I said, sitting outside on that balcony.
I think a lot of people are going to look at this match and they're going to talk about, well, okay, Evil Genius is this, Evil Genius is that. Maybe Mo is newer to the roster. Maybe they're just not prepared on certain maps. But I think a large part of the conversation that might be missed will be how well Liquid have been playing so far in this best of 3. Again, dominant on Cafe and a very strong start on console too. You like to see it, and this is the type of play that can win a minor. I mean, Liquid are a team that have had a lot of issues in recent times. They, of course, didn't make it to the major. That was a huge disappointment for them. In terms of Latin America, I think recently we've been talking about teams like NIP, teams like FaZe Clan, who have really risen to be sort of the stars of that region, whereas Liquid definitely had their time in the spotlight. It seems like they have faded over the past year or so and had some issues, despite some victories such as BR6. So I'm really glad they're coming out here, and especially with FaZe Clan having a bit of a poor performance, there are still the Brazilians that can pull some punches and do quite well on an international level.
Yeah, I mean, Latin America as a whole has really not pulled their weight, as you know, since Atlantic City, really, you think about it. Rio, we saw a good performance from FaZe, obviously on home soil. They always do well on home soil. But outside of that, Brazil has not had an impact, really. And I mean, you only had one team make it into the quarterfinals in the Six Invitational. It was Liquid. It was the old Liquid's look when Gohan was still on this roster. You know, you look at the Raleigh Major, and what? You have NIP flame out first. You have FaZe fall short. Nobody expected to see that. You have MIBR failed to make it. Like, there's so many things that you look at and you just kind of scratch your head. I mean, you know, FaZe gave a good run to Empire, ultimately fell short in the semifinals. Yeah. I think that was pretty impressive. But other than that, we really haven't seen a tremendous performance from a Brazilian team in a very long time. A very, very long time. And it's nice to see them performing at this level. I'm glad that the Liquid roster is working as well as they are. I mean, if they do win this matchup, whether it's BDS or TSM, the bigger question is going to be, is this just Liquid being able to capitalize off of, you know, EG still trying to adjust to a new lineup? Is it them trying to, you know, try new things? Is it EG coming in with lower expectations? Who knows? There's a mental game to it, I'm sure. I mean, I think the most impressive victory was, you know, Liquid's win over G2. so far. I think that's been a huge feather in their cap. The fabled rematch from DreamHack Winter of last year, which people had to watch on a phone because we didn't have the ability to stream every single match like we have so far this time. It's really good to see Liquid perform the way they are. So we're going to be getting back into the game now, though, as you can hear the ticking in the background. And we'll start things off in round number 8. Likely going to back up to console office would be my guess. Hard to see from that distance.
Perhaps, I think especially since Evil Geniuses showed us they are not afraid to repeat a bomb site. Kitchen 5 times out of 6 rounds when they defended on Cafe. And yes, this time it is going to be console office meeting room once again. So they're going to try it another time. Thankfully for Evil Geniuses, if they try this 5 times, they're not going to get to 5 because they'll lose before then. One way or another, they are not going to have as bad of a losing streak on this bomb site. That's a very, very small consolation prize, though, considering you're about to be knocked out of a minor. But hey, that's something, I suppose. Take a look at the stats right now for you. It's very even on the side of Team Liquid. You got ESK a little bit down below, but we've been singing his praises. He's still been doing a whole lot of work in terms of that supportive role that he's been playing. Evil Genius is perhaps a little bit more lopsided. Again, I don't think that there's one player on EG you can point to for this performance of a 5-2 trail that they've totally found themselves on. I think when you look at this roster, it's probably just more synergy problems that we're seeing, and it's probably just Liquid coming into form as one of the best rosters from Latin America. I really like how they've been playing in this event and in this match so far. I think DreamHack Montreal, 2 years in a row now, we've seen a ton of upsets. You look at last year, Cloud9 winning was a huge thing. I don't think that's a coincidence. I think due to where this event is positioned in the Siege calendar, being right after the major, being at a time where teams love to make roster moves, love to make changes, you're always going to see different strategies, different teams come out on top that you don't expect. And I've been very, very happy with the minor so far.
Yeah, you nailed it. It's the positioning in the calendar, right? There's the major is the second biggest event of the year after the 6 Invitational. It happens right in the midst of summer towards the end. And you have to, number one, you're going to have a meta shift because there's going to be new operators being released. And number 2, you also have the roster lock that you have to think about as well. So you have to kind of juggle and make these changes really quickly. You don't have a big window of opportunity.
I think for Team Liquid coming into round number 8, you've already successfully done this one, but it wasn't the easiest thing in the world for you. Again, it's been sort of that problem for both teams of getting inside of the admin office and then trying to progress from there. They're inside of copy right now. If they can get a little bit farther. There's been a lot of support from Paulo in terms of finding things on his... Oh, I see what he's found. He's found
a pulse.
A pulse. That's going to be dangerous.
So Pulse's cardiac sensor's range is 9 meters. And you can see how far away, when you have IQ's sensor out, where your targets are. So IQ knows, and Paulo was trying deliberately to stay about 9 meters away, but then he walked up closely, and I'm wondering if this is trying to bait Geo into going after Paulo so that somebody from Liquid can pick off Geo, because there you go. He now has the IQ on range, and Geo is just waiting because he knows that there might be a deliberate push. This is very deliberate, if I can use that word again, and very conscious change here. And a conscious decision, actually, from Liquid.
I think a very smart play, and he sees the C4. He's really just trying to bait that out. Beautifully played by Paulo. Geo, you could tell, was aware that there might be somebody else creeping up around him. So he was constantly looking out for that kind of stuff as well. Once the C4 doesn't land, he knows, all right, I watched, I gotta get out. Oh, here's Maruga entering with a shotgun, taking out Necrox. Won't be the opening kill, though. Nesk was actually the first one to die elsewhere on the map, and so we are all of a sudden in on this round. 35 seconds, I guess, is expected. Geo's getting kills all the way from downtown. It's going to be a Claymore that takes down Geo, and now we're back to a 1-on-3, probably the last man alive. As we were talking about him earlier on in this round, it will fall to him to be able to savior for Liquid, and that's not what happened. This Evil Geniuses with round number 8, still in this one again. It's their map pick. They're going to be strong.
This could be the start of a triumphant comeback here.
Could be. Could be.
I mean, comeback that my vocal cords will also need at some point.
Evil Geniuses, I think, looking a lot better on this map. That's perhaps pretty obvious, but I think it's very important to point out because the last one's so disastrous for them. In that round, again, we were kind of focusing on what the IQ Pulse combination was going on with, and I think it was still very good play from Paulo, but then everything just sort of happened. A fury of kills exploded onto the bomb sites, and Evil Geniuses were just in, and they were getting kills. Great to see from EG, right? Being a little bit slow early on in this game. The fact that console office has been gone twice now from Evil Geniuses. There's not going to be a 5-map winning streak or losing streak as it was for Evil Geniuses on Cafe. This time around, they can win it their second try. And maybe you got to think about that tech pause as well, right? Got them into a better headspace, perhaps. They were able to sort of adjust. Interestingly enough, they're going lobby, and they haven't touched the basement.
Yeah. I mean, with EG, they obviously have a very limited site selection, I would say. This comes with changes to your IGL. This comes with role swaps. I mean, you don't go on cafe to kitchen 5 times of 6 opportunities when there's 2 other bomb sites that you could maybe try to scrounge, a round win out of. You just keep going back to it. I mean, I don't necessarily think it's foolish. I just think that EG is very limited on where they can and can't go. And, lobby is going to play out similar to console office. There are a lot of overlap, or there is a lot of overlap, rather, when you look at the way that this site plays. Most teams that attack it will always go for the second floor. It's very rare to see otherwise. So if you can't take the second floor, as we saw, there were obviously some struggles from Team Liquid on the previous round to take that second floor, then that might bode well for EG, and that's likely the thought process behind it. We'll see how it plays out. Every single team on attack is likely going to go after admin first. That's where Liquid is assembling its troops right now. Or as we could say, Avengers assemble for Liquid, who picked up that Marvel sponsorship as well.
Oh, yeah.
Great jerseys.
Oh, I love them.
Great jerseys.
Some of the best. They're not wearing them here today, but yeah, 100%. You like to see it.
I was going to say, I don't think, they're Captain America jerseys, and this is a Brazilian team, so I don't think it would be real.
Well, they've got a bunch of, they've got Iron Man ones, they've got just like Marvel Soldier ones.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. Evil Geniuses threw out 2 Black Eyes very early on into this round, and they have 2 French ACOGs on the board as well. Maybe a little bit scared there might be a spawn peek or 2. Run out, something really aggressive to come from Evil Geniuses, but nothing of that really happened. It seems like they're content just to kind of play inside of the building for now. Perhaps that was because they saw where Liquid spawned and they didn't just have any good opportunities. I don't know what their thought process was here, but it seemed like an aggressive setup that didn't really turn out that way. Mo playing on the Jaeger as well, having the potential to do something silly here in terms of a run out or a flank. But yeah, still, I mean, Liquid struggling to get into the bomb site right now. It's about a minute and a half through the round. And Geo opens things up with C4 on the Nesk, his second death early in 2 rounds.
That's a nice toss out there from Geo. Right out through the front door to claim Nesk, and that's some front, control that's gone. I don't know if they, I was going to say, they had to have seen him, right? And yes, they did. Sexy Cake did indeed see Geo, and I was very confused. I was like, you're not going to let him get away when you just saw him like that, right? So you've got a couple sharks that will circle. That's Paulo now heading in towards the bathroom on IQ, the top of Spiral Stairs. Liquid don't have full control of that second floor just yet, and they're going to rely an awful lot on, you guessed it, Moringa and Sexy Cake, who have been the dynamic duo so far on this team. Moringa in particular with the smokes, going to look to cut off and try and block any of the defenders from being able to retake. But these default plant spots that we see over by the circle desk, you know where they're going to be, whether they're in the smoke or not. NBK gets one on a PSK, but with 30 seconds left, EG are in the driver's seat here, looking to close this gap against Liquid.
Yeah, Liquid's struggling to get into the bomb site. This is a free kill for Palu, though, as NBK just wanders into his crosshair. You like to see that one. He might get a second one on Circle Stairs. Yes, he will. Palu with the double takes down Mo Digga, but Necrox with the trade puts it back to a 2-on-2 man count here in round number 9. Firing into the hallway, it'll be Sexy Cake to get his second kill of round 2. It's all on Necrox on the smoke. It's not where you can do it with missing those shots, though. That can be game-changing. Sexy Cake's inside of Piano. He's in a very strong position, but he needs to plant. There's 5 seconds. Moringa for the cover, and he'll just hit the shot. You don't even need to get the plant down to that situation. Team Liquid, beautifully done, executed in round number 9.
And that's match point as well for Liquid. What an impressive feat. And again, it's Moringa and Sexy Cake. Moringa and Sexy Cake. Moringa and Sexy Cake.
Who else?
Who else? I think people have been sleeping on Gridlock, let's be honest. And I think her pick rate is going to soar. The F90, in my opinion, is one of the best guns in the game right now, just in terms of the way it feels. Same thing with the L85. The L85 just feels good. And it's a lot of players are very comfortable with it. In this case, Liquid exceptionally comfortable with their position, and they are 1 round away, Jesse, from Brazil being in the finals of DreamHack Montreal. And all American, or well, I guess Canadian, because technically Fox A was Canadian at the time.
Yes.
We had an all North American final with Rogue and Cloud9 last year. This year, we might end up having, despite every single NA team here, we might end up having a Brazil and Europe final in North America. I know that stings for the fans of the continent, but we'll see what happens in the TSM BDS match. Right now, if you're pinning your hopes and dreams on EG, well, that hope's not taking you very far. Liquid have looked absolutely dominant on Cafe, probably their best map, and then on Consulate, which might not statistically be one of their best maps, or at least their best map, but man, are they showing up, and showing up where they need to.
I think for Evil Geniuses in North America as a whole, and this is an event where people joked like, oh, you know, everybody's going and there's not going to be any North Americans. I think if you said it's going to be a European-Brazilian final, you would have said, totally, yeah, G2 phase in the finals. That makes sense. Both teams not even making the bracket. Liquid, BDS, I think is going to be a huge surprise to people. And even for the North American fans, who I'm sure would have loved to see the hometown come in and do some work with how many advantages we as a continent had in this tournament, I think we can all be excited and happy no matter who ends up in the finals of this tournament here. If it's Liquid BDS, despite no North Americans, that's still a very exciting matchup. Liquid having a lot of North American fans due to partly their teams from other games, and then also because they did have a very exciting win on North American soil against G2, a very disliked team inside of North America. And BDS just being a huge underdog team.
Yeah, I mean, Team Liquid's fan base is absolutely massive.
Yes.
Absolutely massive. They are the most popular team in Brazil by a country mile. You know, they are an immensely popular org and a team outside of the region as well. And they've got an early pick, and it's Moringa, again, taking out Mo. And they've now got control of Garage as well. So Liquid will continue as the snowball start rolling down the hill, get larger and larger. One of the garage panels opened up a minute off of the clock, and your one roaming presence from EG that needed to be taken care of is gone. But NBK in unpredictable position. He'll catch Palu with his pants down on Repel, but gets fed right on into Nesk, who doesn't lose a single point of HP. Oh, and two! Nesk just beheading Geo. This is rough for EG, and Team Liquid look poised to be able to take it.
Necrox and Young, the last two remaining survivors on Evil Geniuses to keep them alive in DreamHack Montreal. Keep them alive with their hopes of securing that second spot to the Invitational to come back here in about 5 months' time. Evil Geniuses desperately need this round if they want to be able to survive. Of course they do. Team Liquid already destroying these floorboards. There's two anchors on Evil Geniuses, but Young playing on that dock. Gonna give them a bit of an ACOG, of course. It's kind of like a discount Maestro, that being banned out, not an operator they can use in this. Both those garage panels being opened up is very fast from Liquid. They continue their aggression. Young goes down. It's all on a Necrox and a 1-on-4. He's got them pings. He's got some gas canisters, but is it going to be enough? The SMG-11 in hand on the track stinger's taking a lot of damage from that shotgun now. He's got to deal with these, but it's so slow to take care of them. Meanwhile, Sexy Cake's planting, but Moringa with the shotgun. It's Team